So we definitely got some just insane stuff that is currently happening to Workhorse Group Stock again. Despite some pretty major pullbacks of about 10% we are currently experiencing literally after spiking some big almost 13% from the recoveries since the crazy 130% gaps before, following the absolutely astonishing 7,800% squeeze at about the beginning of the year and even a bit earlier in 2020. But now trading at under $9 again, we are literally heading back to the extremely strong support level we mentioned before, now already having recovered some huge amounts from there multiple times before. And as there still are some crucial aspects, news and even some short squeeze data that needs to be considered, what we are going to do today is give you an updated insight into what is actually happening to Workhorse Group Stock and the also recently released earnings report, as well as break down exactly whether it is still a buy at the end. And as the analysis in the video is as always crucial to consider before buying the stock, make sure to stay tuned. Before we jump right in, however, just hit that subscribe button down below. And as we'll keep you updated on breaking news and awesome trading opportunities every single day, subscribing would not only help us but also you. So there is really no excuse for not smashing the subscribe button. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe if you feel so. Alright, let's start talking about the stock. And as it gets evident pretty quickly, especially in the second quarter earnings report providing some super important information regarding the company's fundamentals, but also when looking at the incredible jumps that occurred on the stock in the last few months, there certainly are a ton of reasons for with those massive initial surges also happened huge spike in popularity of the somewhat groundbreaking electric delivery car manufacturer amongst investors. But despite the considerable growth in the mentioned financials, which we'll take a deeper look at in a second, there currently still are some critical challenges ahead for Workhorse, starting off for example with the even in regard to the stock's price action fairly consistent pullbacks of now about 49% from the recent highs up to the then failed recovery attempts that left us at the mentioned support level we'll talk about in a second again. But then taking a look at the reasons that enabled those insane gaps that happened before in the first place, this also brings us to one of the definitely most important things about the company, being of course the absolutely tremendous hype from particularly retail traders. And due to Workhorse getting mentioned massively on forums like Wall Street Bets recently, this then caused a ton of people to actually buy into the stock while simultaneously making shorts cover their position and buy their shares back, resulting in the price to gap up massively. But as the one component that such a short squeeze literally depends on to work in such a way, we have for example seen it on Workhorse's stock was almost perfectly given at the time of first breaking out. The gains of the share price have just skyrocketed to highs of almost $43. And we're talking of course about short interest, which has also risen dramatically again as the price fell the earlier mentioned 47% from the recent highs, and now even the 10% after the then failed recovery attempt, making another short squeeze very likely once more, especially considering our current price almost sitting at the pretty big support level we are currently heading towards. Where it gets really promising, however, is when taking a look at the earnings as well as of course the actual business of the company, really quickly making it very clear that Workhorse isn't like any other delivery car producer. Due to, for example, exclusively manufactures 100% electric vans with a ton of extra features built in, it truly sets itself apart from its competitors in the EV space. And in regard to the company's new released financials, when compared on a year-over-year basis, we can see some significant improvements in literally almost every area of the business as well, starting off with a staggering 1,300% increase in sales of the now delivered 14 trucks. That's some enormous growth when compared with last year's $92,000 profit from literally just one truck, now bringing in a total of $1.3 million as we've also mentioned last time. And bear in mind the incredible speed that e-commerce is currently growing in, making an EV option to profit from the resulting logistics and transportation a very smart move. So if the hype of retail traders continues and short interest keeps rising, a new short squeeze becomes pretty likely again. Alright, if you liked this video and want to support our mission of providing free financial information here on YouTube, please ensure you're subscribed and definitely consider leaving a like. Thanks a lot and see you next time.